It is unlikely, except it is possible that some of you know what I'm going to go through today. This is a magazine that I did a video on in like late 2016. Only 1,500 people watch it though. My channel is obviously a lot smaller back then, but there's a chance that maybe one of you saw that video and is not surprised what we're looking at. But this is a Beckett Yu-Gi-Oh! Unofficial Collector magazine. Now, if you've only been playing the game for a couple years now, you might not know it, but these were like real things. This was sort of, not necessarily before the internet, this one's from 2008, but it definitely was before like the boom of the internet. There weren't as many Yu-Gi-Oh! Sites back then. It was pretty much just like metagame.com, and other than that though, there wasn't a lot of stuff. I mean, like Pojo, but those weren't like official articles. They were just sort of written by anyone. But this is from July of 2008, and this actually, I know I said this in the last video too, but I'm pretty sure this was the last edition of this sort of Beckett Yu-Gi-Oh! Unofficial Collector. I don't know why, but I know that my locals back in the day used to get this every single month, and this was the last one they had. Looks like if it's July, I likely got this for my birthday one time when I went to locals. But this is a magazine all about 2008 Yu-Gi-Oh! And oh my gosh, 2008 Yu-Gi-Oh! Sorry, it's like falling apart. No! 2008 Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like insane. So we got all sorts of stuff going on. This is on the, not quite the Duelist Genesis release, but it is on like the month, well I guess depending on when you got this. If it was in August, that was when Duelist Genesis was released. So it's like right at the end of Return Dark Arm Dragon, but right before Tele Dark Arm Dragon. And we have Gold Series, all that sort of stuff. I think Light of Destruction was the most recent set, and oh man, this is just, it's so cool. Like looking back at this, we have this article about buying Crush Card Virus, the Gold Series version, that was $300. Seems pretty crazy, but man, that card's pretty good back then. And what's funny though is that I like just had this card activated on me, and like I didn't even realize that the errata also gets rid of the like 3-turn lingering effect, so it doesn't have that anymore. But look at those cool pen spinning. That was the thing back in 2008. Man, it makes me feel old looking at this. But man, there's just like, it's so cool. You can just kind of send in letters. There's like artwork in the back, and it gives like sneak previews. It's kind of how there's also like a price guide we'll look at. Man, top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. This person just wanted to share their top 10. They got lots of bad cards and then Light and Darkness Dragons. At least they had one good card. Man, yeah, I guess Chimera Tech's pretty good. Man, it's just, these sort of things like don't get made. Like obviously, like I am sponsored by TCG Player and I work for TCG Player, but this isn't like quite the same thing, because those are written by like just a handful of people that are like trained to write about Yu-Gi-Oh! This is just like so many different things, like fan letters and sneak previews and OCG stuff and TCG stuff. It's just crazy. Upcoming TCG products, we got Premium Pack Series 2, which doesn't even have an image for. That one actually was kind of a total flop, besides Mizuki was in there. That was pretty important. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! That's funny. It says Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the Duelist Genesis. Also, this guy's really freaking me out. We'll get him off the screen. We can't even get him off the screen. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, I know it's not known. I mean, it says 5Es right on there. Featuring 2 key cards, Stardust Dragon, the signature monster for Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's hero, and Red Demon's Dragon. We didn't even know Red Archfiend Dragon's name yet. Man. And then big eBay sales. This person bought an entire Dark Arm Dragon deck. $15,000. $15,000. Oh my gosh. And that just has the gold rare Crush card, not even the ultra rare, whatever. You know, people talk about this game being more expensive than it ever has been. Let me tell you, I was playing during this time. I obviously was only in like 8th grade, just about to go into high school. But man, oh man, was this game freaking expensive. Like, none of these cards ever saw reprints. That's why this game is so expensive. Like, eventually they saw reprints, like years later. But a lot of these cards, they just never got reprinted. It was very rare for cards to get reprinted back in the day. We didn't have things like Megatins, and the structure decks all had really bad reprints. And it's just crazy to think about how much the game has progressed. Like, if you look at it nowadays, I realize there are expensive cards like Infinite Impermanence and Ash Blossom and stuff like that. However, if you just want to buy like a Trickstar deck, just a normal Trickstar deck that would be pretty competent to take to a regional or YCS, you're just looking at a couple $100, which to some people sounds like a lot, but keep in mind, like, this was the only viable deck back then. It was just Dark Arm Dragon. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I mean, look at it. Like, it's just, it's crazy to think about. And this stuff isn't even, like, max rarity. Like, you have, like, common Destiny Hero Dasher. You don't have holographic Spirit Reaper and Sniper. And it's, like, low rarity Dark Arm Dragon Return, and it costs over $1,000. Like, I know people complain about the game's price now, but it definitely was way worse back then. Welcome back to the Duel Monster. So this is the Duel Monster Olympics. Huh. Just must be the top 10 spellcasters with the highest amount of attack points are as follows. That's crazy. We got some just on late. Shout out to my favorite Duel Links monster. And we got some previews for upcoming products. Well, yeah, so Light of Destruction was the last set to come out. A lot of people think Phantom Darkness was the last step, but actually Light of Destruction was. You got some upcoming product highlights. Some funny, there's Chaotic. Some people, in the Avatar video that I did last week, some people said I should review Chaotic cards. I mean, see, Jaden, that's Jaden 3 or Holiday Tins? Oh, that like included some of the Duels packs. That's pretty crazy. Light of Destruction Special Edition. Man, we got hot deals. Oh, this is Ideal 808. They're actually still around. Pokemon is in there. Duels Genesis. Oh, they corrected it this time. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, Duels Genesis. But man, yeah, I wish they kind of did the... I mean, no one would probably read these magazines anymore. But back in the day, like, man, it was a big deal to buy this. Like, these things, I don't know how much it costs. Just like $10. $10 for all this information about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's pretty cool. I don't know. Collector's Cachet. Oh, that's still around too. Nice. English God cards are here. Wow, $80. That is those are still pretty valuable. That's not like the crappy ones from Legendary Collection. Those are like the original ones in Secret Rare printing. That's just crazy. Look at all those structure decks that I reviewed. I think I've called every single one of those bad, except for the the water one. Light and Darkness Dragon Ultra Rare, $10. Oh man, I wish I could get these Yu-Gi-Oh! Ultimate Editions. Those are really cool. They're like, I think Simply Unlucky has opened a couple of those if you guys want to check it out. Not that I need to shout out Simply Unlucky at all, but man, they're cool. I opened a couple of those back in the day. We got the Deck Doctor. I'm trying to like recognize any of the author names. There's one coming up that I'll point out that I do know for sure. It's somebody that I still work with. Man, we got some. So this is like Perfect Circle, I guess, kind of. These just like Monarchs. There was recently like a banless update. Call the Haunted is banned. Oh my gosh. Call the Haunted was banned. What a world. Dark Lord Zerato. So the main reason that it's on the cover, beyond the fact that it has this really cool artwork that someone drew, they made like a Dark Lord Zerato deck. Now, if you look at this deck, you might notice that it's basically just Return Dark Arm Dragon. Like, let's be real here. I don't even know like what the big difference is. I mean, maybe they don't play trade-ins, or okay, they're playing double tribute. But like honestly, every single one of these cards usually finds itself in normal Dark Arm Dragon decks. Oh my gosh, it's funny. It's just playing, like, you think it's bad now when people play, like, 5 Kaiju monsters and then, like, a Slumber and people call it a Kaiju deck. Like, this only has 2 copies of Zerato and then they call it a Dark Lord Zerato deck. I love it. Oh my gosh, it's funny. Oh, jeez. If you're a big fan of the Dark Lord, or you just want to be able to wipe your opponent's monsters with ease, this is the deck for you. If you want to play a worse version of Dark Arm Dragon Return, this is the deck for you. Yu-Gi-Oh! Light of Destruction, the cool cards from this hot new set, like Arcana Force 7, the Chariot. No, you got some good cards here though. I mean, like, kind of, I guess. I don't know. Jinzo Lord. Saw some experimentation, surprisingly, back in the day. That was the first set Fastana came out in. Gladiator Beasts are back. This is the article I was talking about. Do you guys recognize that name? Jason Mayer. I've written articles with him on TCG Player for years now. He's, I guess technically he's like my boss because he's my editor. I've also done coverage of YCS Toronto with him 2 times. Lifelong friend, really great guy if you ever met him. Done feature matches with him. And yeah, he wrote this article. I always screenshot certain parts of it, sent it to him. It's pretty funny talking about Gladiator Beast. This is pretty close to what TCG Player is right now. If you went on there and read some articles, so that's kind of the same thing. We got Dark Arm Dragon Return. That's cool. Look how they put the set numbers for all the cards. God, that's a lot. Yeah, it's sort of the old. If you ever heard of Dark Arm Dragon Return, this is what it is. Look at all that nonsense. See, that's kind of what I was saying though. Like this, they already played 1 Zerato, so like that Zerato deck just played 1 more. It's like stupid. Cyber Valley's in there. Look at all. I mean, look. This is why they ban all these cards, by the way. Because when you looked at any, this is pretty much up until like 2011 and maybe even 2012. But if you looked at like the spell counts for deck, it was just so many one-ofs. Like, look at these decks back then. I think a lot of people that started playing like after 2012, 2013, like don't understand that these deck lists back in the day were almost entirely one-ofs. Like, that wasn't just a GOAT format thing in 2005. That went all the way through this. I mean, look at all the one-ofs. The only 3-ofs are Cyber Valley and Darkroom Dragon for the monsters. Everything else is a one-of besides 2 malicious. Like, you just don't see decks like that. So what happened then is that because your deck is so diversified, I mean, if you look at the spell count, there's only 2 3-ofs, and then everything else is 1-ofs. Trap count's only 1 3-of, and then all 1-ofs. What happened is that, like, it was really hard to play around things because you just, every game felt unique. And I think that's what a lot of people miss about old school Yu-Gi-Oh! And pre-archetypes. I mean, this isn't quite pre-archetypes. You got some Destiny heroes in here. I mean, you got Elemental Hero Stratos, I'm assuming, or he's not even playing, oh, it's just not in alphabetical order. Okay, so we got Stratos here. This is one of the main reasons Stratos was played before, like, Hero Beat, which is when it got banned in 2013. People played it just to search all these different, we got Disc Commander, that card just came back, actually. But one of the things that people miss about old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that every game, even against the meta decks, kind of felt different. Like, yeah, you can expect your opponent to have cards like Darkroom Dragon, and then like Destiny Draw and War of Darkness, but like for other stuff, it was pretty much different every single game. Obviously, if you ask people back then, though, pretty complaints. There's a lot of complaints during that format. Pretty complaints. Nice English major right here. Anyway, yeah, there is a lot of complaints back in the day because it even like it's all about like what you're referencing. But if your only reference is like Darkroom Dragon Return format, like obviously it's going to seem super stale. But looking back on it, pretty crazy. Look at all these ruling questions, man. Can the effect of patrician... Oh, that's what I talked about. Have you guys seen that video of mine where I talk about like the cards that dominated middle school? I talk about this card doing that exact same thing. Rulings. We got Gold Series. This was the most hyped set. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. There are so many good reprints. I mean, just look at these reprints. These are all cards that were expensive. Big deal, because I talked about earlier, there weren't that many reprints back in the day, but Crush Card Virus is obviously huge. This was the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Box I ever bought. I actually, you know, now that I'm thinking of it, I remember when I got this, because I went in for my birthday, and my mom said, I'll buy you a box of whatever you want, and I said, okay, I'll buy Gold Series. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Like, I remember pulling Mirror Force, Heavy Storm, all this is the whole set right here. Gosh, it was just crazy. Man. Look at all these crazy cards. Like, look at these cards. I'm pretty sure I'm still using the Gold Series Rivalry of Warlords all these years later. Gosh, they didn't show all the... That's definitely not all the cards, unless I, like, missed a page. Those are just, like, some good cards that they were showing off. I don't know. That's definitely not all the cards, though. Those, like, comments. We got some art contest winners. Anyone know any of those people? That'd be pretty funny, actually, if someone that, like, drew one of these. That's a really good drawing. I mean, okay, they traced it, but whatever. Wow, look at that. Look at that ruby. Look at that ruby carbuncle. Oh my gosh. What a world we live in. There's another Beckett. Series wrap-ups for the anime. We got some more spins advertisements. We got some price guides here. They literally just put every single set, like, all the way from LOB. Like, that's just insane. I don't know if it's, like, actually any highlights we can get over here. I'm trying to think of, like, cards that would have been out back then that, let's see, Invasion of Chaos. We have Chaos Emperor Dragon for, wait, what are the columns? I don't even know. I guess first edition and not unlimited? That must be what it is. 1 second. I have to know. Oh, it's just a price range. Oh, okay. So Chaos Emperor Dragon back then, I mean, it basically means first edition and like damage and stuff. Chaos Emperor Dragon was $12, $25. It's currently like at the $30 range. Magic Cylinder, $12. That's crazy. Like, oh man, it's just crazy. Like, think about the amount of work that went in to having to update these prices. Like, this isn't update daily. You can't do a market watch. What's good, YouTube? Check out Beckett's price guide this month. We'll get new prices the next month. Like, it's just the world of Yu-Gi-Oh was so much different back then. It's just insane. I wonder how much Airneos was. That card's really expensive right now. Let's see. Oh, he's in Neo-Spatian. What is it a card? Oh, Elemental Hero? Airneos? I didn't even see that. Oh, it's over. So it's like having a really hard time focusing on this. We have, yeah, it's actually more expensive than that right now. It's crazy. Man, this is just, sorry to like gush so much about this, but it's just like really cool. We got some OCG cards. Oh my gosh, just insane. Like just the amount of care and time that went into this. We got some magic articles, I guess. It literally is TCG Player. That's why stuff. They must have had a Pokemon one. Look at that. You could win. I gotta submit this real quick. You could win a Gladiators Assault booster pack. Man, Yu-Gi-Oh! Trivia. Wow. Look at all that kind of stuff. Well, I think that's about it. Oh, look at that. I wanted that backpack so much as a kid. Oh my gosh. I like begged my mom for it. Good thing she never bought it for me because I probably wouldn't have done anything with it. Oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Hot List. This is the Market Watch of 2008 right here. We got Dark Arm Dragon, Dark Lord Zerato. Of course they're going to put that on this list. Oh, look at these cards. Honestly, all these cards are really good, to be fair. So this card didn't see a ton of play back then, but it ended up seeing play in 2012, so that's fine. These cards are all really good, though. That's cool. Anyway, though, that is going to be the end. Oh, that guy's scary. That is going to be the end of today's video going through this magazine. I know that this probably wasn't the most exciting video for a lot of people, but man, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was so much different back in 2008. And it's funny, like I watched portions of that video from 2 years ago, and like even my reaction to certain things is just like funny because that's from like a 2016 perspective, and now we're almost in 2019. It's just crazy. But hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I don't actually own any more of these Beckett magazines, so I can't look at any other years. However, this was a cool sort of nostalgic look back at the day of Yu-Gi-Oh! When it was a very different game. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.